often during the week did his children come over to take care of him?
None.
That's not true.
Only one time.
No, that's not true.
Just as Miss Davenport.
The daughter says her dad's girlfriend took the money after he died, and she wants it.
She took care of your father. You ought to lean over.
Davenport says when her father passed away, his common-law wife, Cleta Agatep, began withdrawing money from his checking account. Gina claims the money was part of her inheritance.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 315 on the calendar in the matter of Davenport versus Agatep. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Davenport, the defendant in this case was the companion of your father, who died recently.
Right.
And he died recently without a will.
Right.
Your complaint is that the defendant took money out of a checking account that was your father's.
Correct.
And that money rightfully belongs to his heirs, it's, in this case you, and whatever siblings you have, because if you die without a will, under the laws of this jurisdiction, your children inherit. That's your position.
Correct.
And it's your position that her father, with whom you lived for how long?
8 years.
Wanted you to have that money. You consider yourself his common-law wife.
Well, right, yeah, in a way, yes.
Before I get to the actual dollars in this case, which really aren't a lot, according to what I see here, you say that there was about $6,000.
A little over that when my father passed away.
When he died, and that there was some $3,000 left in the account that you did in fact take.
My sister wouldn't close the account out because she lived by the bank, right?
So that at this point, according to your complaint, at most, the defendant owes you $3,000.
Right.
Correct?
I don't
Yes.
owe her anything.
Just a second.
Oh.
I understand
Sorry.
your position, and your position was that there was more money in that account and that Ernest wanted you to have that money.
Yes, he did.
Okay. My primary concern, Miss Davenport, quite frankly, is with you, after reading your complaint. Because neither the complaint nor the answer told me how long the defendant lived with your father.
Okay.
But it was a long time.
Yes.
Your father died of cancer.
Yes, he did.
How long was he ill?
Probably really ill for the last 6 months. He wasn't, fortunately, it went fairly fast for,
No, he was ill for 9 months.
Well,
And the last month was really tough on him.
Nobody ever disputed that.
Miss Davenport, you just said to her, nobody ever disputed that.
She did take care of my father.
I quite frankly am at a loss then why you're here and why you've pursued this lawsuit.
Because if she had asked for the money or something, it would have been, we probably would have given it to her. My father left her a $10,000 life insurance policy. He left her a paid-for house, and my father told me not too long before he died that between the money in his checking account, his stocks, and his profit sharing stuff was all supposed to be split up between his children, and he asked me to make sure that it got done and that there was no arguing about it, and now I'm in court.
So your father had some stocks. How much money in stocks did he have?
He had 506 shares of stock worth probably $32 to $34
He
a
wanted me
share.
to... Oh.
Which, worth what?
It's between $32 and $34 a share.
What were his total assets?
40,000 maybe?
$40,000. And how many siblings are there?
5.
Okay. During the last 6 to 9 months, when your companion was ill and you were caring for him, how many times then, not counting Miss Davenport, did the other 4 children come down and say to you, you're taking care of him, I know he's very sick, we'd like to help you out for a day to give you a chance to get out, we'll take care of him for a weekend? How many times did the other 4 do that?
None.
All right, I believe that.
None.
Shh, I believe that. Now, Miss Davenport, you tell me, how many times did you go there and care for him for more than a day?
For more than a day?
More than a day.
More than a day, I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
I lived a long ways away and I have a small child at home. I went down there probably, I think, 4 times in 6 months before he passed away.
Then, Ms. Davenport, let me tell you this. This is not going to be a very long case. As far as I'm concerned, you ought to lean over and kiss both of her hands and her feet. Because she took care of your father. She showered him. She made sure he got to the bathroom. She washed him.
Yes, she did.
Quiet. She fed him. She made sure that he was taken care of, something that if she wasn't around, either his children would have had to do, and had to do something about taking care of your children and your small children and your brothers and sisters, their jobs and everything else, or you would have had to have put him in some sort of an institution, which would have cost money, probably more than your $40,000 that you got, or you would have had to have paid somebody substantially more than $3,000 over 6 months to take care of him. Now, something that you said really irritates me. And what you said to me was, if she would have asked us, we would have given it to her. She didn't have to be asked to take care of your father. She took care of your father. She didn't have to be asked to take him to the bathroom.
Can I say something yet?
Just a second. She took him there. So, and we're not talking about your entire inheritance of $40,000. What your complaint is, Miss Davenport, is that for a period of immediately before and immediately after his death, she went to the bank and withdrew at $300 increments half, you say half, of what was in that account, which was $3,000. So I, quite frankly, don't understand you at all. You couldn't get a nurse for $3,000 a month to take care of a critically ill cancer patient at home. So now that I've said my piece, you can say yours.
Thank you. For one, if anybody had asked, my father told me didn't want anybody down there trying to take care of him. If anybody had asked, I would have come down there. Like I said, if she had no right to go in there. If he had wanted her to have that money, why didn't she just go in there and take it all out of the bank at once? Why did she have to go in there?
She could have.
10 days in a row and take it out of an ATM machine instead of going into the bank and getting the money out? If that was money was meant for her, that money was not meant for her.
What I'm telling you, you're not following what I'm saying to you. Unfortunately, when parents either get old or, unfortunately, if they become seriously ill, usually, if there is no spouse, children bear the burden of taking care of their parents.
That's right.
And they have to turn their lives upside down, usually, in order to do that. That means that if you have a young child, and if you want to take care of your responsibility to your father, that means that you find a babysitter for your child, you move into his home, you care for him. You didn't have to do that. And your 4 brothers and sisters, well, what are we going to do? Just leave him there to languish? Who was going to feed him?
He was only bedridden like that at the very end.
What's the very end? A month?
For a month, yes, probably.
Well, let's say a month, madam. Who was going to take care of him for a month?
If he would have let me, I would have, but he wouldn't let me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he would.
Very difficult, hard to get along with.
And later today,
According to your papers, your wife was leading you on and then tossing you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And then you were really mad.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gina Davenport is suing her deceased father's common-law wife, Cleta Agatep, because she took money out of his checking account. Cleta claims the money was rightfully hers.
You took money out of this ATM.
Yes, I did.
How much money did you take out?
I don't, about $1,500.
Now, you have a counterclaim here, which I assume that you filed after they filed their suit.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you understand that because you were not legally married to him, under the laws of the state, because he died without a will, legally, you're not entitled to his money. You understand that?
Okay.
But he did provide for you in other ways. He left a life insurance policy for you?
Yes. $10,000.
Okay. So the only thing she says she took out of that joint account was $1,500, and there is at least $3,000 left, which you did, in fact, take. So I don't think that she stole anything because, in my judgment, she had access to that account clearly through your father, who gave her both his ATM card and his PIN number, which means he gave her total access to that money. More important, there's a moral issue here, Miss Davenport, that I, quite frankly, am at a loss for. You seem like an intelligent woman. And an intelligent woman who was able to sleep in her own bed at night with her child next to her and not have to nurse a terminally ill cancer patient who is her father for either a month or 6 months or 9 months, shouldn't be standing in a court trying to recoup from his longtime companion who lovingly cared for him until the end, $3,000 or $1,500. You should say, I'm really grateful that somebody who cared for my father, because you yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he was.
Very difficult, hard to get along with. So here you have somebody who took care of you, a very difficult, hard to get along with, terminally ill father, and you're here over pennies. Well, I'm here to tell you, your case is dismissed. I'm also here to tell you that you're not entitled to any more than what you got. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. That's all.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What started as a standard civil dispute over a checking account quickly unraveled into a striking, unforgettable courtroom lesson about family responsibility and baseline human gratitude. The plaintiff, Gina Davenport, walked into the courtroom demanding financial retribution from her late father's companion of 8 years, Cleta. Gina claimed that around the exact time her father, Ernest, passed away, Cleta wrongfully withdrew between $1,500 and $3,000 from his bank account using an ATM card. In Gina's eyes, that cash was family property meant to be split evenly among his 5 adult children as part of an estate totaling around $40,000. She viewed it as a simple case of unauthorized taking. But as the true story emerged under the judge's sharp questioning, the moral high ground shifted dramatically, leaving the plaintiff exposed. The court learned the heartbreaking reality. Ernest had suffered a grueling, painful battle with cancer, becoming entirely bedridden in his final month of life. Throughout those incredibly difficult last 6 to 9 months, it wasn't his 5 children who stepped up to carry the weight. It was Cleta. She was the one who bathed him, fed him, and tirelessly managed his intensive round-the-clock end-of-life care. And where exactly were his 5 adult children during this family crisis? By Gina's own admission on the stand, not a single one of them came to stay or relieve Cleta for more than a single day. Gina argued she couldn't help because she lived far away and had a young child to look after, but the court was entirely unresponsive to excuses for their collective absence. The emotional turning point hit when the judge highlighted the immense sacrifice Cleta had made. Ernest was openly described by his own daughter as a very difficult man to get along with, even on his best days. Yet Cleta took on that heavy emotional and physical burden alone, a brutal task that kept Ernest comfortable and saved the family from paying thousands of dollars in nursing home fees directly out of the children's eventual inheritance. In the end, the legal resolution was swift and decisive, turning on a fundamental principle of banking law. Legally speaking, because Ernest had willingly handed Cleta his ATM card and his private PIN number, she had total authorized access to those funds. In civil law, the moment you give someone your secure credentials, you have granted them legal permission to act on the account. Therefore, absolutely no theft occurred. But the judge's moral ruling cut even deeper than the bank statutes. The case was completely dismissed, with the judge delivering a blistering reality check. She told Gina that instead of suing her father's primary caregiver over what amounted to pennies in the grand scheme of the estate, she should have been kissing Cleta's hands and feet in absolute gratitude. It stands as a powerful reminder that the true value of a legacy isn't always measured in bank accounts, but in the quiet, grueling work of showing up for the people who need it most. What do you guys think about the judge's ruling today? Was she right to bring the family's absence into a financial dispute, or should the court have strictly stuck to the numbers? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you found this breakdown powerful, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another dramatic courtroom breakdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.